All right, everybody, bring it on in. It is time for On the Perf podcast. Once again, with your buddy Amax and Riser. We're going to talk shooting for a little bit to break up your midweek slump. Riser, how we doing?
We're doing good. The body's in solid shape, and I almost have all of the dirt out of my nose and my eyeballs and parts of my gun. The pack is probably toast. NRL Hunter is a dirty sport, you guys, because you're literally rolling around in the dirt, and that Southern Utah moon dust gets in everything. So
that's saying something, because we are on High Desert Eve. Mm-hmm. It is the week of our. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. It's our favorite match. We're about to go on our pilgrimage to Parma, and indeed get that cake mix in absolutely everything, and
in the rest of the guns.
Yep. For the only 4-gun match of the year, I have them all packed up, ready to fly. I'm gonna try and fly to Parma for High Desert Championship. Of course, the secret to getting all that shit to Parma and flying is you just ship it to a friend who's going to drive. That's how you do it. It is entirely too much stuff to fly with.
There is, I would say that there's comfortably 200 pounds worth of stuff in my basement right now that does not belong to me. There's a very large Pelican case and about a half dozen boxes of ammo.
To be fair, I shipped all the ammo for 3-man as well, or at least a good chunk of it.
That was a solid plan. So, yeah, might as well just drop it all here. I can throw it in the Braptor and rip on up. No harm, no foul.
I'm so here for it, though. I think this is going to be the highlight of my season until we get to 3-man, which now that we got Kyle Litzy on board for our 3-man team, I'm even more stoked for 3-man. I don't even know. I don't know what I'm going to shoot, because you two are going to be shooting the shit out of some rifles.
I can't wait until we get to introduce Kyle to basically a match that has no rules.
Yeah.
Like, what do we do here? Whatever we want. We want to stage 7 tripods? Totally fine.
Yeah. Yep. Whatever you want.
Whatever you want. Yep. But that's not here. That's not what we're here to talk about.
No, we're
here to talk about NRL Hunter.
Again.
I just got done with the Hornady Precision Hunter, which is a match down in Price, which is kind of my local range for long-range stuff, which is pretty awesome because it's 2 hours away. And I was home in my house post-prize table at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which was so awesome. And I have taken 3 showers since then, and I swear to God I'm still dirty. But before we get to all that, On the Perf is, as it has been from back in the day, brought to you by Atlas Gunworks. On the Perf, in one word, gets 10% off single cart at perfectzero.co, where you can buy things like the Alpha base pads, which they sent me a couple. They sent me red. I don't have red anything. I don't know why they sent me red. Come on, Mark. What are you doing, buddy?
You're wearing a red shirt right now.
I have a little tiny red mark on a black shirt. I don't have it. I don't have any red.
Here's my problem: is I have one Alpha base pad. I have a metric shit ton of Atlas mags. Which one do I put it on?
Yeah.
And then when it's a unicorn, when it's a unicorn, I'll treat that magazine differently. I'll be like, oh, that's the special mag. I'll use that one. Or it'll be like, oh, no, that's the one I'm worried about. Oh, as soon as they're different, I think of them differently. When they're all the same. So this
is what I'm doing. That base pad is going on the mag that's going to be the first one into the gun, therefore being the first one to hit the ground. And because people had questions about durability. And I'll tell you, so far so good. No issues.
Yeah, drop them on rocks. You'll figure out how durable they are.
Drop on rocks. They'll be fine.
Yep.
Drop on rocks, drop on concrete, throw them down the stairs. Do whatever you want. They're pretty burly. And if you want some, On the Perf, one word, gets 10% off of yours at perfectzero.co. We are also brought to you by Bradley Manufacturing. And word has spread, folks. Word has spread. Because we are starting to get tagged in Instagram posts promising that those of you using Prairie Storm in your comped chokes will not go to Robbie after you blow your chokes up asking why the choke blew up. The word has spread that that's not okay. I'm glad we're getting that out there.
For a good time, though, ask him anyway.
And if you want some comp chokes or anything else that Briley makes, OTP 10 gets 10% off anything over at Briley. And I'm betting if you drop the code when you walk up to the Briley table, talk to Robbie, I bet he'll hook you up. I bet he will.
Yep. And the Briley update for this week, we don't have any results from any matches that we care about. Again, we are eyes on the prize for the high des 3-gun right now. But subtlety is a lost art on a lot of people, so we got to clear up a few things on the Briley update. So for those who didn't catch it in the last episode, I am not involved with Multi-Gun Nationals anymore. Like, people listen to the episode and like, oh, that sucks, bro. But like, I can't wait to see you at your match in July. I'm like, which match in July? They're like, well, Multi-Gun National. Like, they made it very clear. As of April 1st, I dropped everything right where I left it. If you contact me about Multi-Gun Nationals stuff right now, and I forward you right to someone else, that's why. So Tim Dundry is the match director of Multi-Gun Nationals. He's a better match director than me anyway. And some combination of him and the club president, Kevin Hartman, are filling in the role for now. The match is going to go on as scheduled, as planned. All those guys were doing the hard work anyway. Like the ship has the train's left the station on a lot of that stuff. I doubt you guys will even notice that I'm not there. But I officially am not involved with Multi-Gun Nationals anymore. So you guys can all stop bringing that up. Also, I have decided to cancel the Kirkwald match. We had an 11-year run, and that was going to be one of the IPSC shotgun rehearsal matches. Really, it was probably going to get canceled anyway because only about 19 people showed up or signed up for it. So, by and large, the community hasn't really supported those shotgun matches. I don't know if any of the match directors really got a turnout that's going to make any of those events sustainable. But canceled it for a moment there. I was going to try and do it as a 2-gun, flip it to a 2-gun, 90 days out, and then some people who use the word integrity a lot but still somehow spread a lot of misinformation just kind of made me sour on that. It's like, you know what? 11 years, we had a good run. My son's going to have a pseudonym on the show, but I named him after that guy. So that's just going to have to be what lives on for me, and we're just going to have to close the chapter on this and reevaluate for next year. But the Kirkwald has been canceled for the year. I have refunded everybody, and we're just gonna try again in 27. What form or fashion that will take, TBD. And also, the Wisconsin sectional has flipped affiliation to a PCSL Level 2 section championship. Again, fun fact for all those people who use that word integrity a lot but don't really fact check a lot of things. That decision was made without me, not involving me. I actually wasn't really involved with that match until after that change was made. And then they kind of came to me like Ben Affleck in The Town and said, we're doing this. We need your help or we have to cancel. And I'm like, whose car are we taking? All right. So I am like in match director terms, I'm an EMT. All right. I'm the guy that can get you to the hospital. Okay. That's and in case of emergency, break glass. That's me. Once it actually has legs, that's when you need Tim Dundry. All right. But that match has flipped for reasons and that aren't the ones being talked about. But that's what's happening. So if you're interested in a level 2 PCSL pistol match, September 27th this fall, in Lodi, Wisconsin, we're going to be doing one of those. So that's the pertinent updates for events that I'm directly or not directly involved with for the remainder of the season. And that is your Briley update. But really, we didn't talk about this before the show. We should really we need to pick some fantasy. We need to seed some fantasy people for Parma.
Okay.
Do we need to hit the pause button?
All right, we'll hit the pause button. We'll be right back, folks.
Wow, that was fast. Okay, so
that was fast.
Here's the deal, people. Because our buddy Aaron presides over the Galapagos Islands of 3-gun, Practice Score does not list the divisions that everyone is in. So, because y'all love this segment so much, Riser has picked 5 people that he knows, which is better anyway, because Riser knows more people than I do by name. And he picked 5 people, and we're going to pick them for the overall. So where are they going to land in the overall? And that's how we're going to improvise our fun little fantasy game here. So, Riser.
Indeed.
Who do you got?
Okay. First up, we're going old school, son. Scott Hawkins.
All right. Give me some tidbits on Scott Hawkins.
Scott, I'm pretty sure he's shooting staff.
Okay.
Yep. Scott shooting staff.
Shooting staff. He's
Scott,
one of my people.
I think has staffed every match that's ever been at Parma.
Okay, he's a fixture. Hometown, home field advantage.
Yep. Old school, been around forever. He's lost some pep in his step, but
haven't we all?
I would not want him shooting at me in a gunfight.
Let's see. And how many people are signed up for the match?
It's about a hundo.
About a hundo.
Give or take.
All right, he's old school, shooting staff, hometown. What division does he usually shoot?
I don't know what division Scott shoots. I'm gonna guess he's shooting either modified or stealth.
45.
45. All right, Scott in the 45 spot. I'm giving him the over.
Giving him the over?
I'm giving Scott the over. I love you, buddy. I love you,
right.
Scott. All right, number 2, Greg Fittis.
Greg Fittis. Okay, Greg. Actually have the face in my head. So, what else can you tell me about Greg? Give us a little rundown on Greg?
I would say Greg is he's a top 20%er.
He's well traveled. He'll show up.
Traveled.
He'll show up at a major for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes he really just like pulls one out and lays one down. Sometimes not so much, but definitely has the potential to like break the top 10.
Potential to break the top 10, huh? Top 10 in overall.
Yep.
Really gun shy now after our Texas belt experience.
Well, that's because we don't know pistol sports, Maxwell.
Apparently.
Yep.
15.
15? All right. I'm going to give Greg the under. I think he's going to fall just under that.
Under.
Nothing personal.
Okay.
All right.
You're my boy, Greg. Come on.
Number 3, Jeff Lambert.
Jeff Lambert. Okay. Jeff's on our squad, right?
I think he is, yeah.
Is this is the Jeff that I'm thinking of?
This is the Jeff that you're thinking of, yes.
Okay.
Yep. Come on. Give the people what they want.
He's shooting. Okay, so he's shooting main match.
Main match, open division.
Open division.
Yep. And it should be noted that Jeff and a couple buddies have been doing a weekly Friday morning 3-gun practice session for about 2 months now out at Slipsa.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
Yep.
25.
25. I'm giving him the over.
All right.
I got you, buddy. All right. Next on the list, Randy Stevens.
Randy. Oh, and Randy and Jeff are buddies, so.
Indeed. Randy is also part of that crew.
Oh, shit. Let's see. I think Randy can beat Jeff, so I'm going to give him 24.
24? I'm also going to give Randy the over. All right. And our 5th seed here, Dominic Franchino. You met Dominic at 2-Gun Nationals. I met Dominic originally in North Carolina at Battle for the South. And after that match, I described him as super good on the long range and is going to be a problem if he gets everything else figured out. So this is a pretty long range heavy match. I think this is a place where Dominic could do really good.
I think I'm going to give Dom the 10 spot.
10 spot? I don't think it's going to do that good. I think it's going to do very good, but not quite. I'm going to give him the under.
All right.
All right.
So there you go, folks.
We have our seeds.
Tune in next week, and we'll see how that works out for us.
Indeed. Indeed.
Then, of course, that brings us to your favorite time, my favorite time, everyone's favorite time. It's time for the Gary of the Day. For those of you who are new here, Gary of the Day is based off a webpage or an Instagram account called Jerry of the Day, which is people just blowing it and they don't know it. And we like to point it out to them just so like maybe you can avoid these things. And this week we have one, and this segment is brought to you by American Defense Manufacturing. Hit up OTP 15. OTP 15. I think we even forgot OTP 10 for Briley Manufacturing, in case you forgot.
No, I got it.
But OTP 15, 15% off American Defense Manufacturing. Just got my my primary teaching squeeze rebarreled, and we looked at that barrel under the scope. I think that's going to be a show in and of itself.
Ooh. Did we learn things?
Very interesting.
Everybody, I feel like a bore scope is one of those things that used to be like this crazy specialty item. Man, if you shoot rifles a lot, you should probably just go buy a bore scope because they cost next to nothing now. You can legit buy a bore scope for like $40 and plug it into your phone. And they are an educational tool, to say the least. They're super worth it.
The things you will learn will blow your mind.
Yes.
And we're here. I'm at a conference right now, and so I'll be hanging out with Tom all day tomorrow, talking about all kinds of stuff as cops do and don't come by to talk to us. OTP 15.
Can you ask, please for me, please ask Tom, why, in the love of God, are the Allen keys for their mounts 1164s? That key does not exist in like most Allen key sets.
You're not
I
wrong.
had to dig into the back of the drawer and like pull out the special Allen key kit and pull one out of there and put it in the range bag, so I had an Allen key that I could put on a torque wrench.
It's probably something
why?
like the owner doesn't like metric, so he refuses to use metric bolts or something.
But there's lots of metric options in that same size.
I don't know.
I want to know.
I will ask him though, because
or how about a star drive? That's also acceptable, and in many ways even better.
They have started using torque screws on some stuff. So maybe they just got a shitload of those screws and they finally got through them.
They just like got a vat of them for a penny a piece.
Yeah.
Nice.
But This is brought to you by American Defense Manufacturing. If you have an idea for Gary of the Day, send it to ontheperfpodcast@gmail.com. If your idea is compelling enough for us to read it on the show, you will get the American Defense mount of your choice. And I feel like we need to send one up to Canada. So here we go.
Oh, damn. Our northern brethren.
Yep.
I'm about it. Let's
The
hear
Canucks have sent us one this week. I know this guy is an avid listener of the show. You're the Gary if you take a level 1 holster to a 3-gun match and your handgun falls out when you go prone. Okay, we've talked about that quite a bit.
Yes, you are.
And then you argue with the RO that it's not a DQ after they specifically said that it was a DQ, and they argue with the match director for about an hour. Yeah, guys, a loaded gun on the ground is a loaded gun on the ground. That's do not pass go, do not collect $200. That is a big red S-bomb every time, and you are done.
Yeah.
Now, there's for such a short Gary, there's a lot to unpack here. One, we've talked about this a bunch of times. Level 1 holsters in multi-gun, it's a bad idea. It's just a bad idea. I've been tempted as early as a couple of days ago because my current pistol is not getting along with my current retention holster. I need to get a different one. So I was like, maybe nope, not going to do it. Nope. Not going to do it. Always, if you're playing multi-gun sports, you really need an active retention holster. It's just how it is. This sport isn't won and lost in a draw. And there's lots of good options out there. Handgun falls out when you go prone. Now, he doesn't say here if it was loaded or not. I'm actually not averse to pistols being loaded going prone. I can still carry all the time, and I'm loaded in all kinds of positions, and I've never had an issue. Like, if it's in a holster, it's fairly safe and secure, except in this particular instance.
It falls out of holster. The problem is if it falls out of the holster going prone, it's just pointing back at the peanut gallery.
Right. But, like, at the same time, I get it. But at the same time, it's like gun on the ground, it's gun on the ground. Like, we're already doing stuff there. But
this is why at most 3-gun matches, if you're going to go prone on a stage, just magically the stage brief will say magazine inserted on an empty chamber.
Yeah,
or empty gun start. That's just how they'll roll.
When did that start? I feel like that started about 6 years ago or so. I feel like it was a UML thing. All of a sudden one day they started doing, if you're going to go prone, you can't. Sure. But it was something that happened in around that 2018, 2019 time frame. You started seeing if you were going to go prone with a pistol, they kind of set you up for success and had either an empty chamber or a completely empty gun. And really what the match designers are doing for you there is if your gun falls out, it's not a DQ. Now, I'm not sure which rule set they were playing here, but part of the reason they set you up for that is if the gun falls out, it's not a loaded gun that falls out.
Yep.
The Gary move here is then to argue with the RO that it's not a DQ. There's lots of things that are and aren't DQs in multi-gun sports, depending what rule book you're using. This isn't one of them. Nope. Anywhere in the action shooting sports, if a loaded gun hits the deck, that's it. And really, if you're going to do this dance, if you're going to do the dance with the RO, and especially you're going to do the dance with the match director, you got to know the rule. Like, you got to go look up the rule, and if it doesn't, it has to say chapter and verse. Like, if you can point to it and say, hey, right here in this thing that you said there are the rules we're playing by, it says this isn't a DQ. If you don't have that kind of concrete evidence,
you're done.
I've litigated a lot of rules recently, okay? You're done, son. All right? you aren't going to win that one. And I understand the sentiment behind it, but at the same time, got to remember we're a small community, so like that's not a hill to die on. and that's not one to be a dick about. It's, it really sucks, especially if you came from a long way away. But guns on the decks or DQs. That's just how it is. Classifier stage or not. Too soon? Maybe. Anyway, that's the Gary of the day. So if you have an idea for Gary of the day, ontheperfpodcast@gmail.com. If you just want to send me hate mail, ontheperfpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll do it. But we're here today to talk more about long range, and really I need to learn more about this sport so I can interview you in a more interesting way when you shoot NRL. All I've really gotten so far out of our conversations about NRL Hunter is Dos Ocho. So,
dude, where did I drop that? I don't remember dropping that, but I remember you saying it back to me on one of the shows.
Yeah, I think you were talking about parallax last time. So, we can't get Dos Ocho if we don't have the parallax figured out. I'm like, oh. So this is the only thing I know about NRL now is Dos Ocho.
Well, here's the thing.
Do we have any Dos Ochos?
We got 2 Dos Ochos in this match.
Oh my gosh, it's like Cinco de Mayo over here.
Exactly. No, the Dos Ochos started up. So basically, I won't go into the scoring again because we just had an episode about NRL Hunter very recently. But the most that you can get shooting team is 16 points, or each person shoots 8 points individually, hence Dos Ochos. But we were shooting with some skills guys, and they have this really cool thing where you can shoot skills, and it's essentially you're shooting the match, you're doing the stuff, but it's basically like legal cheating. So they're all blind stages. You're totally on your own. You don't get any information. If you're shooting skills, you can come up over the hill and watch like 3 people in front of you shoot, figure everything out, and then shoot the stage. So it's like there's no prize table. There's none of that.
So synonymous with being a coachable shooter in PCSL.
Yes, very, very similar to being a coachable shooter in PCSL. Same deal. And anyways, there was these 2 skills guys with us, and one of them was they're like, oh man, I just want to walk out of here with an 8, get that Ocho. And then his partner's like, dude, we're shooting together. We're going to get Dos Ochos. And so that became their team name. And one of those dudes is in my phone as Dos Ochos. I have no idea what his name is. And because he was going to come to the price match after we shot with those dudes in Idaho. And we were at the restaurant. We're like, dude, where are you guys at? And they didn't come to the match. So we stole it. So like, if you guys are going to keep shooting, we're going to steal Dos Ochos. So that is our unofficial team name. But I really,
good times. Myself and the entire OTP nation would just really love if you and Rick would come up with like a Dos Ocho handshake. Like how do you 5 it out after you get a Dos Ocho? Like it's gonna be like some Power Ranger shit. Like when you like.
So here's the thing. So on I don't know if it was the first or second stage we got the Dos Ocho, but down to the wire. So I'm gonna post up. So I post up 2 pieces of video from these because I just wear a hat cam and it's not very entertaining video because the stages are 6 minutes long. There's 4 shots per person fired. You can't see shit. Like it's mostly for like if somebody's going to go shoot the sport, they can kind of like see what it's like and see our workflow and see our communication. And like you can help each other out and set up tripods and things like that. So it's mostly for like if somebody really wants to get into the sport, they can watch it and like see how somebody works through some stages. But the one thing that you should watch is I always post up a hot mic for these. So I just put up like a 5-minute video because we're just talking the entire time. And the match video is an hour and a half long. Like you're doing stuff for a long time despite only shooting like 200 rounds. So, but you're just talking all the time and you say some funny shit. So I do like kind of a hot mic style video. And dude, Dominic, who we just seated, just texted me. I don't know what he texted me about, but
you guys better not be talking about me in fantasy.
Exactly. I think the universe is aligning right now. Some stars are in alignment. So anyways, but one of the things I put up is this hot mic, and this little segment will be in there. Rick was finishing up a stage. I had cleaned mine. He had cleaned 3 of the 4 targets. We are the second to last stage of the day. It's windy as it is just howling wind, and miraculously we have hit let's see, 7 of the 8 shots 7 of the 8 shots. So he's got one more shot to make. There's 10 seconds left, and me and the RO both have talking timers, so you can hear like the lady in the talking timer counting down. And the RO says, which they're not supposed to say shit unless you ask them a question. The RO says, no pressure, but if you make this shot, you'll be the only team to clean this stage. And with like 10 move. Seconds on the clock, and Rick just goes, "Man, fuck you guys!" And then with 4 seconds on the clock, sends it. I think it was a 600-yard shot on an 8-inch plate in like 12-mile-an-hour wind. Nails that shit, son. And both of us are just like, Dos Otros! And the ROs are like, what? So, yeah, it's a good time, man. Dude, team division in these things is just the best. It's so fun to shoot with another guy. You need a dude that you get along with. Like, you need to be super comfortable with your friend being like, dude, get out of my way, and like not take it personally. Or, you know, like,
yeah, right.
Like, yeah. You need to,
so don't do this with your wife.
Yeah. Don't do this with your wife. Definitely not.
Figuratively, yours or mine. But like anybody should not do this.
Anybody's
with their spouse.
Wife. Yeah.
Yeah. Never a good time.
No. Yeah. You need to, you are giving, very curt feedback, and you need to be thankful when your partner gives you curt feedback, because they're trying to save you, because those are their points too. So, but it's so much fun. My God, it's fun. So yeah, so that's what the Dos Ochos is all about.
All right. So this one was in Price, Utah. The last one was where?
Last one was in Vernal, Utah.
Okay. So
which is like Vernal's like the eastern border of Utah.
Okay.
And then Price is about 2 hours south of Salt Lake.
Okay. So is terrain significantly different between these two?
Yeah, way different. So Vernal was like super monolithic, just like post-apocalyptic desert hellscape, which made it like really hard to find. Not so hard to find targets, but hard to find targets again. Because the trick is you have to find targets from the sighting stake, and then you have to re-find those same targets from your shooting position, and your perspective changes. So it's when there's like, you're like, shit, dude, how do I explain where this target that's just out in the middle of this dirt is at?
It's kind of like when you shoot a deer or something like that, and like from where you're like, okay, yeah, it's by that bush, and then you walk over to that bush, and that bush doesn't look anything like none of the bushes that you're by look anything like the bush you said. Yeah. Oh yeah, that bush.
Yeah, exactly like that. So, Price, on the other hand, is a lot of really 3-dimensional terrain, which is really cool because there's a lot of angle games that go on. You're shooting up and down hill. You're shooting up canyons. The wind does wild shit. We had one stage where we shot a lot of high misses because the wind was ripping through this canyon and then coming up the bank and lifting the bullets, and we were just missing off the top of these plates. And it does crazy stuff. But it's like super 3-dimensional, really interesting, like canyons and gullies and cliffs and giant juniper trees and rocks and like really cool landscape. But the secret for anybody shooting one of these things is find far markers. Like look in the distance and be like, all right, it's just to the left. Like from the top of that peak, I'm going to go a little left and then come down until I get to that little, dead tree or whatever.
Yeah, really big lone tree or significant boulder or something like that.
Yeah, like far markers stay the same relative to your target when you move. Close markers do not. So you want to find reference points that are way past your target, because when you move positions, those reference points will be in about the same place relative to your target. Mm-hmm. But if you pick a reference point in front of your target, when you move, the relationship to those two things changes.
Because, like, how far apart are you from the sighting stick to the shooting position usually? Are we talking 5-10 yards, or are we talking 25-30 yards?
Either of those.
Okay, so it could be not very much, or it could be quite a bit.
Yes. Okay. Yep. Both of these happen a lot.
So crazy wind, like how different were your wind calls from this match compared to the last match?
Oh, geez. Well, with the last match, because the landscape was really monolithic, like once you figured out, oh, the wind's kind of coming from that direction, blowing at 8 miles an hour, you just kind of have an 8-mile-an-hour wind call, give or take quarter value for, you're shooting in a slightly different orientation. At this match, dude, we got boned on one of the stages so bad that when we were hanging out at awards, we heard the ROs from the stage telling the story about us getting boned on the stage. So, like, not a good sign.
That's never
like,
good.
Hey, it's like, I think they're talking about us. But so we were shooting at a pig. I believe I think it was like 600-ish yards. All the stages kind of blend together at some point. But so we're shooting at this pig at like 600 yards, and the wind was just super switchy. It was gusting up to 25 miles an hour. Super switchy, never got below 10, and you'd like miss left off of one target and then miss right off the next target because it's this really 3-dimensional landscape. So I step up, and I'm making my wind call through the scope. Rick's making a wind call through the binos, and I was like, shit, man, I think I'm just going to open up center because I can't even tell which way the predominant wind is going because it's back and forth. And he's like, yeah, sounds good. So I send it. I see the impact 2 full mils to the right of the target. And I'm like, oh, I saw it. And I like run the bolt. I hold 2 full mils on the left side of the target, send it again. Bullet lands exactly where my crosshair was. 2 mils left of the target. And I'm like, God damn it. And these shots were like 4 seconds apart. And then Rick gets to that target. Exactly the same thing happens to him. I'm like, I don't know, man. Just start open center again. And he goes bang. And I got the new Talon binos, which have a reticle in them, which is clutch for this game. So sweet. And again, like I saw it splash so I could make the call. I'm like, 2 mils left. And he like runs the bolt, makes the shot, and it lands exactly where his crosshairs were. And afterwards the ROs were like, dude, fuck that wind. And we're like, yeah, we agree.
So if you botch a wind call on a target, can you go to war with that target on your 8 shots, or is it like 1, 2, and then you have to move on?
1, 2, then move on.
Okay.
So if you hit it with your first shot, you get 2 points. If you hit it with your second shot, you get 1 point. If you miss it both times, you have to move on.
Okay.
Yep.
The other thing, what came front of mind here. So this actually, we'll give you guys a little look behind the scenes at my office. So somebody who tests things came up to me and said, "Hey man, how many full revolutions do you think a scope turret will get in its lifetime on average?" And I was like, I don't know. Can I phone a friend? he's going around. He's taking a poll around the office, and going around the cube farm there, you will get a wide breadth of experiences and opinions and perspectives. So he's going around, and tell him. So tell him your answer to this, because I had never thought about it before. Like I would think, a scope for me, like my 4-24 Razor Gen 3 will probably get 3 full turns ever, maybe in its lifetime. But I'm not the use case for this. I also will go through several pistol red dots, in a year, and most people will never. So, So what was your answer to that? I thought that was really interesting.
So I don't remember exactly what I came up with, but basically I was like, all right, let's say that average target distance is about 600 yards. I figured out how many mils it was to 600 yards. If you do cheater 6.5 math, that's about 4 mils. By the way, 6.5 math works pretty good on 223 as well, which is take your distance in hundreds of yards, subtract 2 zeros, then subtract 2, and hold that many mils. So if you hold 4 mils for 600 yards, you're probably going to be pretty close. So I figured about take your distance.
Mm-hmm.
So 600.
Mm-hmm.
Now just make it a single number, 6. Mm-hmm. Now subtract 2. Hold that many mils.
Dude, where were you like 10 years ago?
I was just starting with this shit, man.
Oh, man. Oh. I wish I knew all this stuff when Iron Man was still going.
I know, right?
Damn it.
Ah,
Anyway.
sorry.
So
That's it. Anyways, so I figured, let's say average shot is 600 yards. You don't really dial in and out. You only dial 600 yards on the way. You're gonna, dial that and then back in times 20 stages, times 2 matches plus 5 practice sessions, and then I gave you the number that was that, and I was like, this many per year. I don't remember how many clicks it was, but whatever it was, that's how I did the math.
I think it was something like 9,000 mils a year or something.
It was a lot, yeah.
And that's not like a heavy use case. You're
No. Compared to somebody that like this is their sport, that's like saying, "Oh yeah, I shoot a bunch. I shoot 1,000 rounds a year," and we're like, "That's adorable." Like,
oh yeah,
it's exactly the same thing. Like multiply that times, I don't know, comfortably 10 for like some people that in the office.
yeah.
Like,
Well, and like rarely are you gonna dial a full turn. So it came back to like, oh, you're gonna dial on a 10th and take off a 10th, and dial on a 10th and take off a 10th. What he came up with was 90,000 clicks. 90K clicks was what Riser came up with, and some of the other numbers that were coming out while we were talking about it were 10x that. So,
oh yeah.
But it was just an interesting thing, like, because like we're designing a product. How durable does it have? And like, make it bomb proof. Okay, well that costs money. When you look at the cost of the AMG, all right, that's what bomb proof costs.
It costs money and it costs weight.
Yeah, and so if you don't have AMG money and you want it to be lighter, how much can you get away with? That's kind of what they're also trying to figure out a testing protocol of how far do we test it before we say, yep, that one's good, because everything wears out. So I just thought that was interesting. I was like, I don't know how many clicks would a long range shooter put on a scope? I hadn't thought about it before. I just thought it was interesting. 90,000 clicks in a year on a scope.
For a pretty
okay
mid-pack guy. Like Rick and I as a team finished exactly mid-pack, which was way better than the last match.
Nice.
And I finished 2 spots out of the top 20. So let me rephrase that. You can kind of like do the what if game a little bit, and you're like, I always shot first, Rick always shot second. I know what my points were for my half of the team. If I was shooting by myself, this is where I would have finished. So you can like kind of play that game. That's not really the truth, because you have a friend helping you. You have a friend with win calls, things like that. So like this, I'm not saying like that's where I would have finished, but so close to the top 20, but not in the top 20.
How many people?
I think there were 80 people in open heavy. So, top 25%, something like that.
Okay.
And so anyways, for like the dudes in the top 5, comfortably 10x that. Cause this is all those dudes shoot. Like they just shoot this in PRS and that's all they shoot. So, they shoot this sport like I shoot 3-gun, and my God, are they good. Holy shit, dude. like watching those guys shoot, you're like, oh, you can just like see the wind like it's the fucking Matrix. Like you can see the scroll on the screen, and it's like I don't even see the Matrix anymore. I just see blonde, brunette, redhead. It's like that. Like that's how they read the wind. Because like this match was all wind and pretty hard shots. Some really interesting positions. Like one of the positions, for example, there's a lot of positions where you run over and there's like an obvious rock and you're like, oh, I'm going to put a bag on that rock. And you get down and you're like, oh shit, that tree that's like 100 yards away is in my way and I can't quite see the target. And then you got to like set up something else. So a lot of stuff like that where you needed to kind of like look a little extra hard. And one of the positions, which was really cool, was it was a loophole through a tree. So imagine like hunting blind style where you're like 10 feet back from just like a wall of trees that has just kind of like a natural 10-inch hole in it. Mm-hmm. And then you need to shoot like an 800-yard target through that hole. And that hole's like 22 inches off the ground. And you're just flat ground. And so you got to like set up a tripod. And then I had to like, bend some legs outwards to like lower it a little bit and like get the height just right. So I could like make the shot through this hole. Yeah, it was really cool. Like super interesting positions. And Verl, who's the match director there, Verl Dallin, he's done all of these. I think he's done 5 of them so far. Puts on a amazing match. It's such a good match. And at the stand on the tailgate and welcome everybody and give them the quick safety brief before you send them off to the stages, he pre-apologized to everybody for the match being too hard. And it was super hard. Like in the last match,
10 out of 10 hard.
At least 9 out of 10 hard. So
if 10 out of 10 was even the top guys are missing stuff.
Oh, the top guys missed a lot. Everybody missed a lot.
Everybody missed a lot. Okay, all right.
Yeah. I might try to hop on here and figure out who missed how much, but everybody missed a lot. So in the last match, I would have finished roughly the same place, doing that what if math. And I shot a perfect score on, I think, 70% of the stages. So in this match, I shot a perfect score on 3 of them. 3 out of 20 stages did I shoot completely clean on my half.
Oh, wow.
That was it. Yeah. It was way harder. And part of it was wind, part of it was positions, part of it was the targets were harder to find.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's this really 3-dimensional terrain, so you can put targets in not sneaky places, but there's just a lot to work with. Some of these things, there's 4 or 5 ridges deep where you can put targets. So there'll be a 200-yard target, then a 900-yard target that is, a little bit to the right of the target, but 700 yards farther back in this gully. And then, at the Vernal match, it's just wide open desert. So there's only so many places you can hide shit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, way harder. And we ran into Vernal mid match and he came by and he's like, "Oh, how are you guys doing?" I was like, "Dude, if anybody complains about this match being too hard, don't listen to them. This is awesome. It's we are getting crushed right now and we're having so much fun." It's if I can clean most of the stages, I'm not that good at this. I'm pretty medium at this sport.
Yeah.
If I can clean most of the stages, this has to be boring as shit for the top guys.
Yeah, right. And a lot of it is positional, right? Positional shooting is if we were to break it down 3-gun terms, ideal 3-gun match would be 35, 35, 35 as far as across the guns.
Yeah.
Long range, actual technical long range is piece of the pie. Reading the wind is part of the pie. Positions are part of the pie. And then what would you say? Teamwork is in there too?
Yeah, if you're shooting teams, teamwork is a humongous part of it. But yeah, finding the big challenge is finding targets, building position, reading wind, and then you just executing a good shot with that position. So building position is finding a position efficiently that you can actually shoot the target, because sometimes the obvious position you can't, and then being able to actually execute that shot from that target.
Can you maybe break down some of the more interesting positions that you did?
Yeah, so I think I only used a bipod 4 times in this whole match.
Because it was too low?
No, just because there wasn't a good spot to shoot it. If a bipod is an option, you use a bipod. Because prone with a bipod, for sure the most stable option, best recoil control, you can see your impacts, all that stuff. But you almost always ended up with a bag on a rock. The tripod through the trees was, I think, the most interesting one, because it would have been very easy to just run over there and just lay down prone and be like, "Oh man." One of them I set up on this rock and then looked out at the target and was like, "Ah, you bastards!" And then I had to run back 20 yards and grab my tripod and set up a tripod next to this rock so I could get the rifle 8 inches to the left so I could actually make the shot. How
tall was the tripod for the tripod through the tree?
That one was pretty low. It was calf height on me.
Okay.
And then the interesting thing about the teams is you can kind of you can share gear, and for the most part, Rick will set up his own tripod because he's a foot taller than I am. So comfortable and kneeling tripod for Rick, not the same thing as comfortable and kneeling tripod for me. But that was one where it's this is the height. So I just left it. When I left that position, I just clipped out of it, and he just came in and clipped in. That one was pretty tricky. And bags on logs, I think, are the trickiest because the log itself moves. Yeah, the log moves a little bit. You know, it's like it's not like you're in Southern California and there's like redwoods. It's like a juniper that fell down. You know, so it's like not the most stable platform, anyways.
It's like a 4-inch diameter log or something like that.
Yeah, 4 or 5 inch like old dead juniper, and then you can't really load it or it gets all weird and bouncy. Where like in a rock you can just kind of like get in that thing and like really hug it. There was a few hillside shots where you're shooting straight out, but there's like a 45-degree left to right hill that you're sort of like laying against. So you had a tripod set up with like 2 short legs and 1 like triple extension down the hill, like holding the tripod up, and you're sort of like laying on your left hip, making the shot, things along those lines. Yeah, just a little bit of everything, man. Like everything I've ever practiced was in this match at some point.
Do you think are the positions harder or easier being Halloween sized?
I think it makes it easier
because you're not as contorted as I would be to try and get.
Yeah. Like one of them was like a bag on a rock, and I was like real tight in there. And Rick came running down the hill. I was like, "Hey, dude, do you want a second bag to put on the bag? Like, I mean, we could like double game changer this thing." And like, but
I need a booster seat.
Yeah, some of them was really contorted. But then, you know, there was another one that was like just this big like tombstone rock, and I was like full standing, where I was like, "Man, I'm sure there's some junior girl here who like can't see over this thing that's just getting boned right now." But yep, I just looked up the scores. The winner, John Kimball, dropped 14 points, which is really damn impressive.
At another match, how many would he drop?
Like 1.
1. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
a lot of NRL Hunter matches. A lot of NRL Hunter matches have been either shot perfect or had like a point or 2 dropped. Like It's really common for the dude that wins to drop like less than 5 points. So 14 points is a freaking lot.
Okay.
And then it drops off pretty hard. 5th place dude dropped 10 more points than that. 10th place dude dropped 10 more points than that. 15th dude dropped 5 more points than that. Yep. So
before we leave position and stuff, are people doing the stuff where they like sit on bags or they put bags like in the crook of their leg and stuff to like as a booster seat, or is this kind of more minimalist on gear so people aren't doing that kind of stuff?
Mostly more minimalist because you have to build all the positions on site and you don't have a lot of time to do it. So like the standard kit is double pole skypod, game changer or similar, tripod. I use the is it the switchback? I think it's a switchback, the one with like the upside down ball head. Yep, I use the switchback. And yeah, that's like pretty standard kit. It's like those, like that's all I bring.
Whereas in like PRS, they would have all of the things, so they would try to go in there with whatever to.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so you would have 5x the bags, 2 tripods, all the different. You know, you'd have like tripod front and tripod rear, do all that stuff. Like there's just no time for any of that stuff. So you need to like go in, set up a super clean position with like a bag and rock, execute the shot, and move on. Which is cool. It's what I love about it.
So how did the scores break down for this one?
So, like, ask the question more specifically. What do you want to know?
What the box look like?
What the box look like? All right. So, let's see. Overall, so teams, the top spot. So here's the deal. There's a lot of farm boys shooting this sport, so you're going to get a lot of Daltons and things like that. Okay. So just be prepared. So
we were both farm boys, so that's our joke. We can say
exactly.
That, all right?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
That's
we
right.
Can say
That's
it.
our joke. Yep. So in the top spot in teams, we got Trey Thacker and Tyler Sorensen. In the 2 spot, Philip Vallejo of YouTube fame and Jonathan Boomas, I think is his name, who was rocking the sweetest. What do you call it when you run the end mill down your barrel? Fluting. He had the coolest fluting I've ever seen on a barrel. Like, I'm sure he took like a heavy Parma barrel and took like a pound out of it, and it looked dope. It was so cool. And then in the 3 spot, Jackson Golightly and Bill Golightly. Quite a few father-son teams shooting.
They made that division, name up. That's not a real name.
Yeah, which is pretty freaking rad. And and we were exactly mid-pack in teams. Let's see. And then in open light, which is a rifle underneath 12 pounds. I think it's 12 pounds. John Kimball, who I'll have a story about in a minute. Zach Boughton in the 2 spot, and Seth McNally. And it should be noted that John Kimball won overall shooting open light. So it doesn't matter how much your rifle weighs if you hit things on the first shot. In the 3 spot, Jaden Miller, whose friends were trolling so hard, dude. Oh my God. Every sign in the match, there's like a sign that has like the stage brief when you walk up to your like placard and you're kind of like hanging out, and it'd be like, you're looking for placard E, and there's going to be like a fox and a deer. Somebody wrote some slanderous shit about Jaden on every single one. It was like Jaden eats Twinkies filling first was one of them. It was like shit like that. Like it was awesome. Every single one you'd roll up, you'd be like, oh, what's Jaden up to? And apparently he wins quite often, and people have started just all in good natured aggressive ribbing. And then Quint Reynolds in the 2 spot, Nathan McDonald bringing up the 3rd step. And then we have factory division, which is basically like a list of rifles. So like Sig Cross, whatever the Seekins one is, some things along those lines. Sean Haymore taking home the dub. Terry Southworth in the 2 spot, and Blake McCam bringing home the bronze. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Good times. Let's see. I got a couple of notes on stuff I wanted to make sure and talk about here. Oh, in the last match. So for those of you guys who've listened to all these things, you know that I shoot these with my buddy Rick. Rick was my alpine climbing partner from back in the day. We have spent months of our lives together in tents, in vans, pretty cuddled up. We cuddle in the van. We have a good time.
What happens in the van stays in the van.
Exactly. Yeah, actually, I was gonna say a joke that Rick said, and it's too inappropriate for the podcast, so I'm just gonna leave it out. So, anyways, in the last match, Rick's still in like the super steep part of the learning curve, which is a super fun place to be. And Rick is one of those people who is annoyingly good at everything that he does. He picks up stuff really fast, and so I was like, it's only a matter of time until. Like we're not carrying shit. Like Rick and I are just teammates. And that time happened in this match because in the last match, there were several stages where I shot 8 points and Rick shot 0, 1, 2, something like that.
We've all been there.
Yep, we have indeed. In this match, Rick dropped 1 point per stage, actually slightly less than 1 point per stage compared to me. And I've been doing pretty aggressive high-level gun things for 13 years, and Rick started last year. So awesome.
Screw you,
for Rick.
Yeah,
exactly. So Rick's getting pretty darn good at this. Remember that weird-ass parallax conversation we had last week?
Yep, somebody even wrote in about it.
Oh, did they? Oh, yeah. Interesting. I'm curious. Do you have their tirade on there?
Do your thing, and I'll skim it real quick.
All right. So it turns out that it is completely related to my glasses, because after the match, I went over to a concrete table, laid the rifle down, found some targets between 100 and 1,000 yards, ran the parallax experiment again without my glasses on. Like I took my glasses off, I moved the diopter until the reticle was in focus or as close to in focus as I can get it without my glasses. Ran the same experiment, and I'd say plus or minus 25 yards what's on the knob. And then you put my glasses on, and 150 yards is 400 yards, and 200 yards is 800 yards. So, like, whatever.
Eyes are different. Who knew?
Yeah, eyes are different. Exactly.
Listener writes in, just wanted to warn Riser about trying to assign distances to your parallax knob. It's crazy how far off they can be. Yes, it is. But one thing to keep in mind is that your parallax free setting may be different depending on lighting conditions.
Oh.
I teach long-range shooting in the Army, and I had to learn this the hard way too. I just don't want you to get married to the tape that you put on your parallax knob because it may be different the next time you go shoot it. Yeah, so there's a lot of variables in play there. This is not my primary discipline, so I don't know this particularly well, but when I started taking call center calls on this, that was one of the things I learned very quickly at Vortex is that, that knob is not gospel. It's not a rangefinder. It's kind of a suggestion, and it's kind of a reference point for you to help find it. But kind of what I describe in some of my other classes on other topics is what right looks like. All right. If it doesn't look right, change it. When do you stop changing it? When it looks right. So like in terms of, like I teach a lot of LPVO, right? So guys in the world that I'm teaching in, they want a formula. When do I use 3 power? At 95 yards, do I use 3 power? It's like, dudes, here's the thing. It lives on 1 power until you can't see. And when you can't see, zoom in. More. And when do you stop zooming in? When you can see again, and then go back to shooting. So it's kind of one of those things is where it's like when you look through it, if it's not right, adjust until it looks right. And then when it looks right, send it. Doesn't matter what the number says. The numbers are really just there to kind of help you find that spot a little bit easier.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Well, thanks for that piece of information. Partly thank you. Partly, God damn it. Because... I mean, it would have been really nice just to be like, oh, this target's 400, and you put it on 400.
God, wouldn't that be handy?
Why does long-range shooting have to be so damn complicated?
Because then we wouldn't be able to sell you as many gadgets, I guess.
Yeah, apparently. Well, on the gadgets, this is the first match that I shot with the new Talon binos.
Oh, yeah?
Holy God, are they better. Like you said in the last time, offensively expensive. But, man, if you want to do well at this, they are so worth it.
Chalk Mittens texted me right after he heard the episode. And he's like, what binoculars are you talking about? And I told him. He's like, nice. Holy shit. I'm like, yeah, see, we weren't kidding. Are you offended? Yeah. He's like, I am.
Are you offended?
Like, there you go.
Well, how expensive are they? We were shooting with one of the dudes that's an engineer from Really Right Stuff. Awesome guy to hang out with. So we're just like hanging out, talking word. My buddy Rick's a mechanical engineer, so we're just like hanging out, talking word engineering stuff all day. He's shopping for new range-finding binos. He looked through them and we're like, wow, these are definitely way better than the Brand X. I'm not going to slag anybody. And he's like, but they're like $2,000 more. Like, if the dude who works for Really Right Stuff thinks your shit's spendy, your shit's spendy. Not a good sign.
Yeah,
but
we came out with tripods because their stuff is offensively expensive.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and he was even joking about it because, like, as I have a rail underneath my rifle, and I have weight problems on my rifle. Weight for open heavy is 16 pounds, and mine is 15 pounds and 15 ounces, which I'll tell you about in a minute. And he looked at my rail and he's like, "Oh man, you could just grab a drill press and just drill a bunch of holes in that thing." And I looked over at his and I was like, that one looks pretty right. And he goes, yeah, and it says RRS on it, so it's super cheap. It's like, yeah, so we all know what time it is. But yeah, so this was the first time where I could actually like very clearly identify the animals, because it's like, oh, you're looking for a fox or a deer or whatever. And I was like, oh, there's a blob out there that looks, I don't know, that's probably a fox, which makes it hard to identify. and then makes the ranging tricky because you're not ranging the middle of this shape. You're ranging like kind of a blob. But that helped a lot. Having a reticle in there helped a lot. I was able to give Rick corrections. I would just measure the target before he started shooting. And then instead of being like, I don't know, man, come left edge or come, you'd be like, hey, man, like I know the target's 5/10 wide. He missed this much. I can tell him come left 3/10 or something. So you can give him very more precise corrections, which was awesome. The one thing that I did learn is before you're going to shoot these in a timed event, unpair them from everything else. So what's the collection of paired range finding stuff called?
I think it's called Vortex Connect.
Yeah, that sounds right. So when you pull them out, if they kind of go back into sleep mode, you pull them out. The first question that I'm going to ask is, do you want to pair with your phone? And depending on how your Bluetooth connection is, that might take a second. And you don't have seconds.
I see.
And so unpair them, make them all live on an island. Make your phone live on an island, make those live on an island. And the way that I'm going to run them from here on out is I'm basically going to like pair them, import all of my builds, because building your guns out is way easier to do on your phone. It can be done in the binos, but it's kind of a pain. Import all of your stuff and then unpair them. So your builds just live in your binos. If you got a faster velocity or whatever, you can just go in and change it really quick. But then they're not ever like looking for your phone. So I learned that actually in a practice session, because always practice with gear before you use it in a match. And then I felt so justified in doing that when another dude, not running Vortex binos, his binos did a software upgrade in the middle of a stage. So he's literally ranging targets and they just like, and then like running software upgrade. And he's like, what the shit? And like, he had to like call tech support from the waiting area. And they like ran the thing. He's like, all right, go and press 2L and run the, yeah. So he just threw away a stage because his range finding binos ran software upgrade in the middle of the stage. Like that sucks, dude.
Oh no.
That sucks.
I wish I could help him.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, hey, man,
it's kind of like
it doesn't run software upgrades.
Kind of like a PD that came to use our range to sight in. They got brand new Gen 6s, and so they had to sight in all their red dots that were from a different company. They brought 55 or so guns to sight in, and a fifth of them didn't work.
Wow.
I was like, oh no, I wish so much that I could help you.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
If you bought from us, this wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
They're good guys, so they bought other stuff from us.
Awesome. Good for them. And unlike the last match where we finished almost DFL, we did stick around for the prize table here.
What'd you get?
Lots of goodies on the prize table. So my buddy Rick pulled a MDT carbon bipod, which was pretty sweet. I pulled a Luth AR stock, which was not something I expected to see at an NRL match. But yeah, there they were.
Uncle Randy, what are you doing?
Yeah. Hats off to our boys.
Whatever he wants.
And then Hornady, of course, was the title sponsor, and they had pretty cool swag bags, which included target indicators. So like the little strobes that you put. Yeah, they had 2 target indicators in each of the swag bags. I thought that was freaking rad. Like, what a cool swag bag pull, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's pretty neat.
I thought that was pretty awesome. And a little Vortex Nation happy story time for everybody here. So our boy John Kimball, who got the dub and staffed the match. I don't know John, but he seemed like a very nice guy. Won the match
with the curse of the staff.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Shot staff match, shot all 20 stages in one day, and then staffed the match. And
doesn't everybody shoot it in one day, though?
No, 2-day match.
Oh, okay.
Shot 13 stages the first day and 7 the second day. He shot all 20 the first day. Or he shot all 20 on Friday. And you might be asking, oh, Adam, it sounds like it was really windy during the regular match. Did the staff have a better chance? No, they did not. It was super windy during staff day. Like they did not in any way have a better shot at winning this thing than anybody else did. But he pulled himself a Razer Gen 3 4-25 off the price table. And I was chatting with him on the way out, and I was like, hey, man, what are you doing with that? You going to shoot it or you going to sell it? And he's like, I don't know. I haven't really decided yet. I was like, well, if you want, man, I have a 6-36, and I've been looking to take some weight off my rifle. If you want to swap, I'll swap. And he just went, ooh, I might. Turns out our boy lives in Boise. So I'm meeting him on the drive to Parma. We're going to swap scopes in a parking lot, and I'm going to get to take a pound off my rifle, and he's going to get a beefier scope for PRS stuff. So the world just loves us all.
Here's the deal, people. Pro tip. If you think there's going to be stuff on the prize table that you'll like, cash is king, all right? And cash in the hand is worth 5x what it is tomorrow when that person goes home. So, like, if they pull something like, hey, man, $500 right now, you'd be surprised how many people say yes.
Yeah, for sure.
You'd be surprised. Lots of really good horse trading happens right after that prize table. So,
yeah, a lot does. But yeah, I looked at I looked at my last match video. I looked at this match video. I'm like, I've literally never used more than 25 power, and I'd really love to have a pound off of my scope come hunting season. And and I don't want this, like, the world's nicest PRS scope to just gather dust in my safe. I want it to go to a good home. So it's a great idea. Works great.
Yeah, I don't have a 6-36 or a 4.5-27. But
dude, it's a 4-25. It's not a 5.25, right?
It's 4-24.
Oh, 4-24.
4-24, right. And a 4.5-27 was the Gen 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have.
It's the way, man.
Oh,
it's
man, I was waiting for it to come out for long. I specifically didn't ask for a 6-36 because I was waiting to shoot my shot on a 4-24.
Yeah,
and that's what I have on my 6 arc for this weekend.
Nice. Yeah, it's the way. I've been eyeballing it for a while. I was like, ooh, I think that's the way. But yeah, because my rifle, like I said, weighs 15 pounds and 15 ounces, and it will be my elk hunting rifle this year. So if I can cut a pound off of that, I'm going to be pretty excited. It's going to be pretty nice. It's going to be pretty nice. But yeah. So that's our story, boys and girls.
All right, guys.
That's all I got.
Do you have any more NRL for this year, or is this the last NRL?
This is the last one this year. My buddy Rick might go shoot there's one-day NRL events. I can't remember what they're called, but whatever, kind of like the little local events are called. He might go shoot one of those, but I will be the weekend before Nationals. So I will be practicing that weekend, and we'll be able to join him. But I am done with NRL for the season. That's it.
All right. Well, I forgot to tell you my ray of hope. So because of events we detailed last time, my season looks different now. So I have a lot of time to explore some other formats. So I'll probably be trying some other stuff. And then I looked around in my backyard and I realized how into disrepair our backyard has gotten from what it used to be when I moved down here. So I started talking to the club guys, and it warmed my heart so much, Riser. If we had a segment called Today's Ray of Hope, like today's Ray of Hope would be there is a resounding cry for two-gun at our local clubs.
What?
They're like, no, predominantly my local club is, we kind of have two motorcycle gangs. We have the action pistol gang, and then we have the old school high power gang. And we peacefully coexist. Well, we hostilely coexist in the same range space. But there was a very active 3-gun club pre-2020, sanction of the club. and a couple key personalities just kind of lost interest and moved on, so it kind of died. So the resurgence for 3-gun is there because I have to convince these pistol people that shooting more than one gun at a time would be fun, which I know a lot of you listened and, hey, you know what's fun? More fun than shooting one gun at a time?
Yeah.
Shooting two.
More guns.
Shooting two. Yeah. And you know what's more fun than two?
Shooting
three. You know what's more fun than 3?
4.
There's
we're going to do this weekend.
There's only one place you can shoot 4. I don't know what to tell you.
Yep. There's no 5-gun.
There's no 5-gun yet. But one of the guys at our club was like, hey, do you think like we could, instead of doing a pistol match, we could do a 2-gun match? I'm like, we absolutely could do that. And then we were doing a league night at Vortex. Like, hey guys, we're going to be doing PCSL now. That opens up a lot of formats for us. We've been doing a couple carbine only matches. And so I was like, I don't know, throwing it out to the group here. Do you guys want to do more carbine? Do you want to do more pistol? Do you want to do 2-gun? Let's throw it to a vote. It was unanimous.
What?
Unanimous. They want 2-gun. Yeah. So I'm like, well, we're going to have to build some dump boxes, guys, because it is on. It is on.
Here's the thing. I've used a lot of dump boxes. I've used a lot of barrels. I like the barrels better.
I like the barrels better
really
too, but that is predominantly an indoor affair, and
yeah,
you have to anchor them down.
Skippy rounds and anchoring. Yep, both of those things not good.
So I called the guy. I called the guy. The guy is Jason Wood. If you call Jason Wood, like, hey man, have an hour if you're going to call Jason Wood.
Yes, do not call Jason Wood if you have somewhere to be or somebody else to talk to.
Yep.
But
I got all the plans.
If you have something to fix, Jason's got your back.
Yep. I have all the plans. We're doing the things.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. You getting the little brackets from him?
I'm not sure. It's in facility. We have people for this. We sent
gotcha.
we sent the schematics to facilities, and we're like, hey, could you make us these? And we'll see what comes out on the other end. But I think the PCSL dump boxes are probably
they're sweet.
They're the best ones we've seen to date,
without a doubt. Yeah.
So,
for sure. Yep.
So yeah, so stoked on that. So got a bunch of guys want to try some 2-gun, and so I think a lot of my bandwidth outside of my own shooting and this show, I think we're gonna focus it right in our backyard, because it's important to keep your backyard manicured,
Attaboy. I'm this warms my heart because I remember very distinctly an episode of the 3-Gun Show with our spirit animal Dave Hartman where you ranted about how everybody says I want more 2-gun, and then when you put on a 2-gun match, nobody shows up. So the fact that the whole board is unanimously voting for this, pretty good sign. I think.
We'll see.
I think the turntables have turned.
I think so. It's
heck yeah.
It's the dawning of a new age, So we'll see.
Nice.
Anyway, guys, that's what we have for you this week. Again, we are on the cusp, on the precipice of the single weekend that we pretty much talk about for the next 10 years. So
it's happening. It's happening.
It's about to go down, and I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll probably have a lot of it to talk about next week.
Yes,
so you just go ahead and buckle up, and we'll get at you guys then. We'll see you guys next week. All right. Be easy, everybody.